It's the 12th of December. I'm sitting in my room like I've done every morning since March 12th, 2020. It's been 9 months exactly since coronavirus set in our lives here in Ireland. I haven't been into anyone else's house since November, and I've worked and done college from home since September. I haven't seen my granddad all year. He's been in a nursing home and hasn't been allowed to leave since March. I snuck in to see him once, which made me feel like everything I've been doing is worth it if I can keep him and people like him safe and healthy. Like everyone, I want my normal life back, and I miss the fun stuff like going out with my friends to pubs, getting the dart into college every morning, walking into a shop barefaced, not worrying about bumping into a stranger. I want to hug my friends and go into their house for a cup of tea. I miss going to music festivals with thousands of strangers and sleeping in a tent. We all want to hop on a plane and go to the places we've been dreaming about. We've had our freedom taken away from us, which is something we never thought would happen. Something we took so much for granted and never thought possible to be disrupted. These things we miss so much, things we thought to be concrete in our lives. We miss our friends and family. When I see pictures of my granddad smiling in his little bedroom, it fills my heart with hope and warmth, knowing that he's been looked after and is happy, and someday soon I'll be able to give him the biggest hug he's ever gotten. When I feel frustrated about not being able to do the things I used to take for granted, I think about my nana, who cries every time we say goodbye to her because we can't hug her, and I know I'll be able to give her all the hugs in the world the minute I can. We're doing these things for the people who need it most. Really, this is the easiest thing we could be asked to do. People have endured far worse things in history, but that doesn't diminish the sacrifices we've given out this year. It doesn't lessen the struggles we've all experienced daily, or our own individual journeys that this year has led us on. But for me, being someone who needs a lot of time alone and needs to recharge by myself, the idea of staying at home and not seeing people didn't sound so bad. I've always been comfortable being alone with myself. I could have time to do things I love and work on myself. But after a while of getting so used to being alone and getting comfortable with not interacting with my friends so much, or going outside and living what I knew was a normal life, I got stuck in a pattern. It made me anxious to make plans, and I didn't want to leave the house. I preferred going on walks alone than with other people. I preferred to watch movies than have Zoom calls. And in the summer, when things started reopening, I felt conflicted and weird for not jumping at the first opportunity to get out of my house. I really liked my routine of being alone, and I had lots of things that kept me happy. I've changed a lot throughout this year. I never would have had this much time to work through the things I've been struggling with for so long. I've struggled with depression and anxiety, which I would previously have been scared to focus on. But this year I've been able to put myself first and give myself the time I need to heal. I would never have had this opportunity if life was normal and full speed ahead. I spent most of this year very disconnected and frustrated with myself for how I was feeling. I felt like I should be missing going out more, and that I should be sad about staying home and having so much free time. But now I'm learning to accept the way I feel and know that everyone is different. I've learned so much about myself. I've found new hobbies and I've dived deeper into my passions. I love yoga, and it makes me feel like I can really focus on myself, and however long I'm practicing, it connects my mind to my body and disconnects myself from this crazy world around me. It's one of the things that gives me so much joy. I've found my new favourite hobby, knitting. I've discovered my love for crafting and making all sorts of things. I never would have discovered this passion, I don't think, if I wasn't given the time this year has given me. I started a new sport, aerial hooping. I've never had so much fun in a class. I've always wanted to do something like this, but this year really pushed me to try it. I love knowing that I've put money into something for the sole purpose of making myself happy. Just spending an hour a week swinging around having fun. I'm now finding the balance again in my life. Although this year has been far from normal, and we are still far from normal, I have a better relationship with myself and a better outlook on returning to normality. I love having the people I love close to me, and I still love being alone, but I allow myself that time with no judgment or guilt. I'm now able to go to restaurants again, and I appreciate every minute spent out with my friends so much more than I ever have before. I go to my weekly aerial hoop class and I love every minute of it, because I know it's the 1 hour I get to spend with no worries other than enjoying myself. I love doing my morning yoga classes and feeling like I'm doing so much good for my body and my mentality. I love meditating and grounding myself in the day. I like to spend my mornings alone, slowly bringing myself into the world. Meditation brings so much peace and really helps me calm my mind and remember that we're all in the same boat going through this scary and unknown thing together. These are the little things that have gotten me through this year, and without this year, I never would have loved as deeply as I do now. I have such a deep appreciation for the area around me. I never thought I could explore my surroundings so much, but that's what happens when you're restricted to a 5-kilometre radius. I've taken Dublin for granted so long, but being near the sea and having so much food and amazing places around me, it really doesn't get much better than that. I found my favourite place in the world, the duck pond in the Botanic Gardens. Ducks really are the greatest animal of all time. My family are my biggest rock and my greatest source of happiness. This year has made me more grateful for them than I ever have been. My mum really is my best friend. My dad really is the most generous and caring person in my life, and my brothers have been a constant source of friendship, support, and we're the closest we've ever been. Above all, I've learned to be grateful for what I do have. And I suppose the silver lining of this year has been exactly that. I've so much more love for myself, the things I enjoy, and the things that bring me happiness, and of course, the people in my life that make every day worth living.